Well, no rest for the weary. We'll just jump right into it. This is for documentation purposes. Fair use, fair use, fair use. Let me put this up here. Thank you everybody for joining me. Stay for as long as you can or you like. Hopefully I'll be able to hang through the whole thing. I'll try not to talk too much through it, but I got to talk a little bit. Yep. That's true, Cinnamon Girl. Ugh. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm fine. Mm-hmm. Hey, Fizz Crank. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Does everything sound okay? Hey, Crybaby. Fizz Lurking. Cinnamon Girl. Thank you, thank you. Okay, here we go.
Okay, everyone. For the new people, just hold on a second. Give me a second here. I'm making sure everything's rock and rolling. I want everything to be clear. This is going to be a this is going to be a lot about me too as well. I want you to understand this is very important for you guys before we go into the interview with voices behind the wall with Sheriff. You guys need to understand this. It's going to be very important. I'm going to go over a few things with you guys, especially with signs and symbols. And together, I want us to come together. I don't want no BS, no past drama. It's all put aside. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do the first thing right off the bat. Since we're talking about Summer Wells in this, and she's named in this, there will be no money. As you see right here is my Cash App. Right here is my email. So what we're going to do with this, since we're doing this and we're going to actually be naming Summer, I told you all, unless I'm in the field, and I'm doing it. This to make I'm doing this to make an example. There will be none of this. So this is completely gone. This is going to be completely gone. And we're going to get down to this. I'm going to give everybody a chance to come in first. Let everybody make sure the audio, the video, everything is well. I want to really, really hit home with this. I want to hit home with this. I want y'all to understand this. A lot of people want to see me question. There's a lot of questions out there without a single of a doubt. I mean, there's a lot of questions. Okay. Hello, everyone coming in. Thank you all. To the mods, please be lenient today. Let's be lenient. I want everyone who is not blocked already, because I know there's going to be questions. I'll say this: the majority of the people that's going to be in here. Hey, Candace, got you. You're more than welcome to join, Candace. I do appreciate that. Messenger, I just sent you the link in the messenger right there. So I do want to say, I want to clear up a few things. In this is going to, and I'm not going to give away a lot, because I want to put it all out there with Share. I think it would be really big for people to understand. This is just like a prelude of things to come. You're always late. Share, you're always late. And now here's the thing. I'm not going to keep you this long. I'm not going to keep you long at all. With Fred and Ziggy, if you're in the chat, I appreciate that. One thing that really that got me, and I'm actually going to put the photos back up too, guys. I will post the photos. I will post everything.
Crybaby, you can if you want.
We'll name all that. We'll talk about that.
You might try to strike me.
We'll talk about all that. And my involvement. things that I've said in the past. Again, I know Cher, she's going to grill me. She's literally going to grill me on these questions. So what I would like you all to do is get you a pen and paper or something, and I want you to start writing questions down.
Yes, I want everybody to do that too. Write questions down, and we're going to turn them in, see if they answer them.
And we're going to overload. We're going to overload Cher is what we're going to do. Anything you want to know about me, I want you to give them to Cher. I want you to give all the questions to Cher. Send her. You got her email. I don't even have her email. You go ahead and you send all of it to what you want to ask. I mean, I don't care what she wants to do. I hear voices. I hear voices too as well, especially coming outside. A lot of gang shit outside. But anyways, I want you all to take your time. I want you all to come into this fresh, and I want you to just see me from me. Any question you want, I want you to email, share. Right here it is. Let me put this up here. I'm going to have to get some glasses. Look, I've been doing this too long. I'm getting old here. But right here you go. I hear voices19@yahoo.com. Okay. This is her email. Any question you all have. Any question you all have. Okay, I will send to Cher, Bo, Fred, and anything you all have. I'm going to be clear with you guys. I'm going to tell you where I come from. I'm going to tell you who my family is. I'm going to tell you parts about my family. I'm going to teach you all how I got into the business when it comes to child predators and human traffickers and child trafficking and how I was done when I was a child. And then you'll understand it. You'll understand it more. Thank you, beloved ghost. And yes, you're making fun of me. I know that. And I welcome it. Let me brighten this up a little bit so I can see. That way, when I actually bring up photos. And Ernie is welcome to do the same with me. Hey, Ziggy, how are you doing? So first off, with the Summer Wells case. In training, when I first, where do you want to start? I'll tell you what. I'm going to leave it up to the audience tonight. I'm going to leave it up to you guys. That's all right, Harley. I'm glad you're doing better. Thank you for coming in here. Very, very beautiful woman. I'm going to leave it up to you guys, and I want to let you. Where do we start? Where do we start at right now? This is an introduction. I want to show you all this. Where do you want to start? Anywhere. That way I don't want people to say, "Oh, you're leading them on to something." No. I don't want that. But I want you all to tell me where you want me to start at, and not questions that's going to be on shares. That's going to be something special. I'm holding that. Yes, you do. But you do enable me, beloved ghost. A lot of people want to see me take a lie detector test, don't they? You know what? Hey, Cher, you know what? You would probably get a better result having me on a lie detector test, to be honest with you. I've seen people in the chat. The people in the chat, they were like, I want Ernie to take a test. I want Ernie to take a test. Look, we're not going to tolerate, we're not going to tolerate not tolerating that shit. Sorry about that. We're not going to. This is something very important about Summer Wells and how this leads into that. Now, here's the thing. We can make that happen. No. We'll talk about that. It is about summer, everyone. Remember. Okay, so on June 15th, 2021 was the first day we were filming a reality show. Okay, it was a reality show for Predator Hunter Nation. We was wanting to show people how child predators prey on children.
That's funny, Chico.
And then with that, I came in and I wanted to show how easy it is to catch these predators. Now, I had just came from working with Trump's executive orders for combating human trafficking. I was with the Special Forces of Liberty, anti-human trafficking and child exploitation. We helped set all the bills up and the laws that about 27, it's either 27 or 32 states that actually passed. It was called the SOCA Act, which is the Save Our Children Act. Okay, that's a fact. If you don't believe me, you can go to specialforcesliberty.com or you'll see all that. You'll see the bills, you'll see the Constitution things, you'll see how the federal litigators, you'll see how people who actually work.
And if you ask anybody about him, they'll tell you that he's full of shit. He didn't write any of it. He was a driver. That's it.
Real FBI when it comes to human trafficking extractions. Now, my part about that. Now, I was in executive protection. Okay, I was always a driver and a point man. I don't know if you all know or familiar with that about point man. What a point man is. Point man is usually the person.
Well, at least he finally admitted it. He was just a driver.
Right in front of the diamond. If it's a diamond formation, there's always a diamond.
But it was just him and Chris.
Edge or tactical L formation type. So, and notice this. Now I'm telling you this from my heart and from experience. I don't have to read nothing. I don't have no teleprompters. I'm looking directly at you guys. Now, when we get into something here in a minute, I will show you the signs and symptoms and what I saw. It really got me into this and what made me stay. And then I noticed a lot of pushback. So now, everybody be lenient with the blocks. Please just be lenient. Let them have their freedom of speech. Their God-given rights. Let them have it, please.
Hey, Dodie.
Now, when you take this case into consideration, I've seen other cases like it before. But see, Summer's case is so different because of all the publicity. It's a proven fact, people. It's a proven fact. Proven fact. Everybody, let people have their say. Okay, please let people have their say. This is for Summer, people. This is for Summer. It is a proven fact that when these children are trafficked in this way, or the way that we're believing it's happened, only less than 1% are ever found. That's true. And there's a reason. There's a reason for that. And it's a very, very dirty world. I'll just tell you that. Now, anytime
That statistic is not true. Sarah and I looked it up one time before, and it's actually very much higher than that of children that are found.
these marks, and here's something real big that I want to talk about: colors, marks, identification miles, even the way Summer as a baby was laid into bed, the way she was photographed, the angles, and I talked about this. I told you all years and years ago. Ernie, why do you think Leslie, see, I like this question. Earhart said this case is outside the norm because of the pedophilia. Because of the pedophilia, the weirdness in it, the things that Don was involved in. And here's the thing: when you're openly talking to someone and they're giving out everything to you right there, they're giving it out to you, people.
Okay.
They're literally giving you the answers without giving you the answers. They don't understand. When I interview Don Wells, it's a proven fact in interrogation.
Hey, MacB.
If you interview somebody beside a waterfall or water running like a creek or a lake or something with water running, not still water, but running water.
I gotta hear this.
Water, look it up. Water calms the body. Water calms the body. I can sit here and I'm gonna give you an example. Watch this. I'm gonna give you all an example. Okay. Can any of y'all hear that water running? Can you hear the water running? Who hears the water running? Lightning bolts in the chat if you can hear the water running. Who hears the water running? Can you hear the water running? Lightning bolt in the chat if you hear the water running. Lightning bolt in the chat if you hear the water running. Or just put a 1 for you new people. Can you hear the water running? You don't hear the water running. Now you got to go pee. Okay, so you can hear the water. You hear it. Okay, we'll turn it up even more. I don't want it too much. I want it to be faint. That's why we're far away here. Now, after I start talking to you, people, everybody's going to say, he's brainwashing these people. No, what it does is it calms the body. Your body will become more calm. If I start asking you questions, your body focuses on one thing and it's trying to focus on the water as well. So you're having a mix. It's mixing your mind up is what it's actually doing. It's mixing your mind up. And I can ask you questions and your body's going to relax. Your body's going to become more relaxed. And there's a reason we're doing it. So I'm going to turn the water off, but I was just telling you. You can tell me, fish tanks always calm you. Exactly. Because the filters are pumped. Because of, a little bit of water. It's a proven fact. I don't understand why they don't use this in all interrogations. So how many people learned something just now? Who learned something? So when I interviewed Don Wells, guess what? I was by the kitchen and I had the water running. We had the water running. So water is used to treat it. Exactly. People, it calms you down. It's used as an interrogation method. It can be used as you can use it as a hypnotizer. You can hypnotize a little bit with it too. But we're trying to be for summer right now. So when I interviewed Don Wells, I had the water running and I made it calm. What I wanted to do is I wanted his emotions to be in play. I wanted to go through all of his emotions and then pull back, go through all of his emotions, make him at a peak. And that's what I did. Because what did I do first? Hey, Don, hey, buddy, it's Mike, buddy. Hey, buddy, I'm sorry for everything. Like that, right? Buddy, I know. Don's got on the phone. He said, buddy, I know. Man, I can't believe I'm son of a bitch. I was going through it, right? Remember that? Remember I act like somebody else? And I said, I can't believe that Ernie Shable, right? Remember that? Yeah, I know he's a somebody or whatever it was, right? But Don always brought my name up, and I know why. And I never really went into this. I wondered why he would always bring me up. Oh, I need to talk to him. All this, okay? So I'm going to be.
I have that interview, and tomorrow we'll play it. I don't want to play it tonight, but Don Wells did not bring him up.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you. This is to prepare you for the interview that you're about to see with Sure. And I don't know when she's going to schedule it. I have no idea. She said something about Sunday. I mean, we'll look and see. So I knew that. And I was like, wait a minute. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to get his emotions peaked on different ways. We're going to have to get him out. We're going to have to get him mad as hell. We're going to have to calm him back down. And then we're going to have to get him up a little bit, not as high as we was the first time. And then we're going to have to get him in a sad mood because I wanted to see where he was at. I wanted to see everything about him. It's kind of like a lie detector test, a polygraph test. There's a reason they ask you the question, a lie. They'll say, they'll ask you something that's true, and they know it's true, and then they'll give you a reading. And then they'll ask you something that they know you completely did not do, and he'll give you a different reading. And then that's how they judge with those lines and those marks if you're telling the truth or not. So same way, but not having this fancy equipment. So this is kind of an interrogation method that they use. And when they use these interrogation methods, now they don't use them in like law enforcement. Now, hell, half the law enforcement don't even know what they're talking about. So what you want to do is you want to get the person peaked first. You want to see where they're at and all their emotions, every single emotion. And then you want to start working on them. And when you start a psychological working, now that goes into a lot because you can break people really easy. You can break people, but you can also heal people. It's a fact. You can heal them or break them. I didn't care about healing it. I already suspected it, okay? Because I know what the statistics are. Anytime a child goes missing like that, it's always, well, 88 to 94%, the parents are always involved or something like that. And I've been listening to Don, and it's been a few months later, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to call him up. And I got his number. I found out his number. I skip traced him and got his number. And, he didn't really give out that number. Just certain people. I love that. A lot of YouTubers had it. So I skip traced him. Now, everybody hears me really clear, right?
Hi, Lisa. Not sure.
Now, when I started the questions, notice how I did. He was cussing me out at first. He was, this is right here, all this, boom, 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 boom. And I wanted him to. I wanted to pick him. We had him on record on 2 or 3 different machines. And all of a sudden, I was like, well, you know what? I knew he liked Trump. I knew he liked Donald Trump. So I named something about Trump. Yeah, man, boom, boom, boom. So I got back on his side. So I was here, it was over here, back here, all over the place. And I want him to think that I didn't even know what the hell I'm doing anyways. You always want to play dumb, stupid. Always play dumb, stupid. So he was like, yeah, man. And we start talking about other people. You have to relate to them. Exactly. So I'm trying to dumb it down for everybody. That way everybody understands. And there's no hidden agendas. And there's no secret money I'm making here or nothing. I want you all to understand. It's very, very important. Because when we get to this stuff, it's going to get crazy. It's going to get wild. Now, the kitchen sink water was running, okay? The kitchen sink, we had it water running. And it wasn't running like a full-fledged, like, it was just running just enough. You don't want it flood, you don't want it fast. Now, running water is a symbol. Running water. Notice, and I've said this even when I first saw it years and years ago. I was one that pointed it out. When I saw that red barrel and it had for sale on it, red means ready. Always remember that. Red means ready. White means available. Remember this. Please remember this. Red means ready. White means available. Rain drops. That's why you see the photographs with Candace and those kids, and she would put the waterfalls behind it. Notice this. If you want to Google this, you can Google this. This is stuff they don't teach you, but this is stuff if you ask the right questions, well, guess what? You're going to get the exact answers, but you have to know the questions to ask. You have to know the who, what, when, where, how on anything. Those 5, who, what, when, where, how. Anytime you ask a question like that, that is open-ended questions. Demands an answer. Yep, red means ready to go. Bingo. Green means for sale, people. If you see someone now, green means money. Money. It don't matter. Green don't mean anything else but money. So if you see a photo and you see waterfall, you see children, and beside of it you see some greenery of any sort, any kind. That's a sale. That's a sale. Okay, that's a sale. That's what it is. That's a sale. I'll tell you, if you really wanted to find pedophiles, go to a water park. Go to it.
This is where he's frozen on screen. Let me see how fast he does this.
Make it make sense. I don't even know what happened. The camera just died out. I don't know. It was weird. So waterfalls. Okay. Notice when Candace put the boys in summer as a cover. Remember that? And in the background was waterfalls. So I'm gonna give you an idea. I was talking to Brooks, and she was talking about another child. Is everybody here? Is everybody right? Can everybody see me? Okay, we're back. Okay, good deal. They were talking about another child that had the marks around their neck, and I'm gonna tell you why. So human trafficking, they dehumanize you. Okay, they dehumanize you. It's one of the things they strip away. They treat you like livestock. Well, if they treat you like livestock, then go by the numbers for livestock. Number 5 means ownership. If you look on those marks on her neck, she has 5s on her neck. Now, a lot of people say, oh, puppies and kittens. Okay, let's get to that. Tell me when you've seen a puppy or a kitten. When they scratch you, it's straight down. You don't see them make a number in your neck, right? Now, how many people have seen the photos? Let's have a little bit of debate here. How many people have seen the photos here? I'm gonna post the photos. I'm gonna post them and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you exactly. And then I'm gonna show you the scars. I'm gonna show, okay, you're more than welcome to not believe that. And okay, so let's talk about why. No. Let's talk about why you don't believe that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Why don't you? I know you have it, Ziggy, but I'm going to show you. I want to know why. You're saying you don't believe it. You have every right not to believe it. But let's talk about it. What is the part that you don't understand? What is the part that you don't see? Because I've got here. I want you to. I want to show you. I want to slow down and show you. Because for me, I've known it for years and years and years. I've got that eye, that attention to detail. I'm going to show you the photo, and we're going to do it right now. We're going to do it right now. This is the photo. This is the photo that caught my eye. I only got to see a glimpse of this photo and saw it because I know what to look for. You know why they put them around the neck for? Because a leash. It represents a leash, a necklace in the area where to be at. Plus, it's easier to read. You don't have to have some pedophile looking down their shirt or something like, let me see this. And no, they don't have to talk to you. They can walk up to your child. Listen, they can walk up to the child and they can see 4 or 5. They can see 4 or 5 on it. Andy B. It's been a long time, Andy B. Brother, it's been a
So far, my questions are, where'd you get your training? And cite your sources. Am I choppy? It says my internet's signal's bad. If you hear it close, you will see a 5 on his nose. Here, let me refresh this. If it knocks me off, I'll be right back. Quit. Time to go. Time to go. No. That way. Okay. I'm going to fast forward to where he's at.
They're time and placement scars. They're time and time over again. I zoomed in and all I see is calf scratches just like the ones. Okay, then that's you. Then you need to put a 2 there. Let's see what you're playing with. Anyways, keep going. Can you read it, Ernie? Just keep going. Just the bruises. You see the bruises. You see the cigarette burn. There's all kind of stuff there. Some people see it. Some people don't. I understand that. Okay, now Okay, then a child don't have scars. Anyways, okay, so let's look at this next pictures. So the mods are, no, they're not. Mods are not blocking anybody. Mods do not block anybody. If they act fucking stupid, get them out of here. Okay, so here's the next picture. This is another picture of her neck.
I'm back. Okay. Let me find it again. Okay, we're going to fast forward to where he's at.
Now, let's go over here. The abuse will always be there, folks. The selling, the ownership, the control, the manipulation, it's always going to be there. Look at her eye. Look at the dark marks.
Oh my gosh.
You see 2 5s, exactly. I see a devil or a bunny. The devil and the bunny mean something too as well. Look at her eyes. Now, that 4 and that 5 could mean 2 or 3 different things. Depends on what scale.
You hear it okay?
And what level and what code system they're using, okay? It could mean she's 4 foot tall, 5 years old, or it could mean she's 4 turning 5. You see, the trick is, it used to be the word 4. Now, let me go back out here. Let me show you something. Pedophiles.
Okay, thank you.
I'll show you something. Going back to this, I want you to remember 4. The 4 fingers. And nothing vulgar with it or nothing like that. They use 4 from 7 to 11. Okay, 7 to 11. They know within those years, that gap within those years. Also, when you take a hold of someone to pick someone up, these 4 is what shoots in. 4. They go in, grab. You cannot do anything without the 4. Remember the 4, 7 to 11. And there's more too. There's perfectly more. And yes, they are a thing that mocks God with it, but we'll get to that later. So, exactly. If you don't like what I'm saying, you guys are more than welcome to leave, okay? I'm just saying it is what it is. You guys can say whatever. Let me say this right here. Let me give you an example here. Okay? Let's take this guy right here. Delicious devil, okay? Who has ever heard of a delicious devil? It's a fake account, right? At any given time on the internet, there are over any given time during the day, it don't matter what kind of daytime it is, any given time in a day, there's over 750,000 child predators online. How do we know this person ain't one? Anybody ever heard of delicious devil? No. Why devil? Well, I mean, what is this? Let's talk about this. Because they want to put deceit. They want everybody to be deceived. They want to throw you off track. And it's exactly why. That's why I get all these ignorant people in here. Y'all remember when I used to put a panel up right now? You'd hear people coming up on panel, acting plumb stupid because they don't want you to understand this. It's out in the open. They do this out in the open. They don't hide. They don't hide when they do it. To hide catches them. They don't hide. But let's read this. Let's entertain this. Underarm bruises and scratches too wide to be puppies or kittens. Okay, exactly. Right. You're exactly right. But here's the thing.
Yep, Donna.
We don't know who this person is, right? We don't know. And I'm not saying he's a pedophile or she's a pedophile or whatever, but you have names that come in under different profiles and stuff, right? And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying nothing else about it. It's hidden in plain sight. Even the FBI directors have always said they do it in plain sight. They do it in plain sight. This is misinformation. Then prove me wrong. Again, I'm using Charlie Kirk's famous words. Prove me wrong. I want somebody to prove me wrong. I want you to prove me wrong. What sources do you pull your information from? I pull it from experience. Now, I know people won't believe it, but law enforcement even discussed this kind of symbolism with Summer and certain pics of hers. And so law enforcement definitely was noticing weird things in her pics and videos. Exactly. Because I've talked to law enforcement too about the case. I know about it. I know about it. So when it comes to this, even the things that people mentioned about, people said, let's get over here to this. This is some big shit right here. This is stuff. This is part of my curriculum, by the way. Thank you, Delicious Guy. Well, I appreciate that. So when they use these signs and symbols here, it's concealment and plausibility, okay? First thing, concealment, plausibility. Okay, that's the first thing. Single emojis, stuff of that nature. They use these things. These are online stuff, okay? I'm not saying that Don or anybody ever used these, but we all know that place up there was pretty much a sex house. And Fred, and see, here's something too. Fred even collaborated that with last night when he come in chat, and he said, well, there was a 4x8 piece of board at the bottom on one of the sheds or one of the houses or something that pretty much advertised sex when they first got there. So how is this not what everybody is knowing what it is, which is child trafficking, is what it is. Now, if number 5 means ownership, in Summer's neck alone, I counted 4 5s. Does that mean she was owned by 4 different people? You see, when you go out and you look into this and you see ownership, you become a slave, okay? You become a slave. Now, when this person gets done with you, guess what? Let's take the Zulaw family. Anybody heard of the Zulaw family? The Zoolander, was it the Zoolander or Zulaw family or whatever, Zoolander family in Georgia? Zoolander, I think it was Zoolander. They took 2 boys and they adopted these 2 kids, these 2 children. They got on Facebook. So listen, wait a minute. We'll talk about this. They took 2 children that they adopted. They adopted these 2 children, okay? And they advertised these children on Facebook. And you know what they used? Signs and symbols. And not only did they draw local attention with it, and they ran under the radar of law enforcement, but they also adopted bestiality. And they had these children with German Shepherds and everything. And you know what they would do? They would find a place where they could go, big, huge hotel or something. And they would clear things out of the way and put these children in front of in front of the middle section. And they would have these men and these other people who had money. And they would auction these children off. They would auction them off. Do you remember when Dawn said she's some hotel somewhere? Do you know how that really works? I'll tell you how it works. They open the door and leave it cracked. That's one of the signs to say available, come on in. But they already have their clientele. They're already talking to their clientele. So the little child's in the bed at a hotel.
Oh,
and people come in and they pay through Cash App or something to keep it under table. You know, it could be anywhere between 75 to 150, 200 bucks. So what they do is they get these extended stay hotels and they kidnap these children, okay? And they make sure that they're right next to each other. Right next to each other. That way they can pay $350, $400 a week Well, guess what they're making? That child is being used 30 to 50 times a day in that hotel. And each time they're getting $150 to $300 a pop. They do that all week like that. Think about that. Now, the thing about it is, think about this. Well, actually, how do you know it don't involve Summer? How do you know it don't involve Summer when Dawn plainly says she's at a hotel somewhere? Don't you all remember that? She's probably at some hotel right now, man. And what kind of person could do that? What kind of person could do that? What kind of daddy? Because he gets off on this shit. He gets off on this stuff. Do you remember what he told me in the interviews? They probably don't, because of all the attention in the media and everything. They probably got rid of the evidence, and they probably killed her. You got rid of the evidence before you killed her. So you're telling me the only time you'd ever get rid of evidence before you hurt or kill someone is if it's sexual.
It's horrible in a sense.
He did take some of the knocks for him when I did my field interviews. And do you remember when Ziggy and I was up on, I think I was on Ziggy's panel, and Fred was in the background, or Ziggy was on my, it was one to the other. And Fred was like, yeah, that's the hotels. And I was talking about the hotels it was busted. We was talking about the circle, how it made it. We was talking about Cherry Street. We was talking about all that. And Fred was over there, yeah, you know, it's what it was. And the guy that owned it, that guy, the hotels and stuff, the guy, we was talking about him. So there's always something to it. Now, see, with Fred never knew this even. I mean, like you could tell, listen, tonight on Shares, you could tell when Fred started talking that he was passionate about it. He was like, well, I never knew. I wasn't even thinking nothing about it till I was in Knoxville. And then you see him opening up. So you know he's telling the truth right there. That automatically tells me this man's telling the truth on it. Because he automatically said, well, wait a minute, here this is. So he automatically proved that. Because he's like, well, I didn't even expect that until something made it to light of it. So he said, what is this? And then, guess what? Your mind's open. So you don't believe anything. Nobody does. Nobody will ever believe in something until something catches your attention. And guess what? You start investing yourself in it. You start looking forward and looking, and you're like, wait a minute, right here it is. Oh my God. And then it's that gotcha moment. How many of y'all put a lightning bolt or a one in the chat if you ever had that moment when you're sitting there like, wait a minute, and then all of a sudden you catch something, you're like, whoa, wait a minute. And then it feels all over your body. You're like, I'm on to something. I know this. And then you feel it in your heart that you know you're right. You know you're right. You know, for me, I believe that's God. I believe that's God saying, hey, boom, right here it is. God gives us all abilities, people, okay? No matter what people say, it don't matter. It's a proven fact. It's in the Bible, people. It's in there. We see things that's happened before. Think about it. It's there. It's there. You have a right to your opinion. Yes, you do. Nobody hit nobody. Please let them have the right to their opinion. We'll take questions here in a minute. Now, and if it's a sincere question, guess what? I'm going to ask it. Lee is asking a question. Okay, let's look at Lee's question here. Lee, ask your question. I'm not zooming up if the chat's flying. Go, just ask your question right now. I'm watching right now. So whenever this happens and you see all this and you're like, wait a minute, it's the same thing as attention to detail. You have that attention to detail, that eye. Now, there's a few questions. There's a few things with waterfalls and why predators choose waterfalls. Well, because the body is relaxed. When you're around a waterfall, guess what? What do you want to do when you get around a waterfall? You want to take pictures, of course, but then you're like, that breath comes, right? Like, whew. It's rest, it's relaxation, automatic. Because the body seems to relax around running water. You become at ease. How many people do you know that used to just go out to the creek or running creek and just relax? They relax. Now when I watch that barrel video, it makes me sick. But before, you didn't see it. Exactly right, Ziggy. You're exactly right. Running water. Red means ready, white means available, and the running water told me everything. When I first seen it, how many people remember that? As soon as, and this was years and years and years ago, I said child trafficking right off the bat. And I don't know if it was on Miss Daisy's channel, or I don't even remember what channel it was on. I know there was probably about 700 or 800 people in there, and everybody's like, "How is that?" And I started explaining it, and they was like, "Oh boy, this guy, he was in the Special Forces of Liberty, anti-human trafficking. He knows about this, he knows about that. He worked with Trump's combating executive orders, stuff like that. He was rare. He did this. He did detailed security for Trump Towers, all and all and all and all and all." Okay, so that's how I did that. That's how I did it. That's exactly how I did it. And that's what I did. Okay, so may we see your credentials at Unlock Your Reality? My credentials has been put up. I was an executive protection specialist. I was on the news. I was in the Kyle Rittenhouse case. I was security for the media. What other cases have I been on, guys? I mean, hell, I've been all over the news. We had viral videos with predator hunts. I had 22 million views. Maybe they will learn something. I don't care if they were straight. I ain't worried about it. So that's my credentials, okay? And people can say whatever they want to about them. It does not bother me. I know where I am in life. I know what I am. I know what I'm about. So
right. That's
I also know this. I'll tell you in 2 days, right? You guys don't know what me and Candace talked about offline. Did I ever put everything out there to you guys? No, I never. Why would I? I showed you all this because I knew that it would be important. When I talked to Candace, there was times that you all don't even know. Everybody thinks everybody just want to go first, be the first one to put it out there. I knew what I was doing the whole time. So a lot of people's questions is this also, and I want to save these for share because it goes into the Candace's favorite fishing spot. I do have an idea where that's at, and I never told nobody. I actually had some people I wanted to go with me. I want to bring the American Freedom Fighters. It's a military militia group, and I want to have a search. I want to search Laurel Run. I know right now that it is years and years and years past, but this is something that we're working on right now. And I'm going to be honest with you. Some of these creators, I used to have fights with. We used to try to destroy each other. I would make fun of Ziggy. I've done all kinds of stuff to Ziggy. And Ziggy was the first panel I ever went on in my life. There's a bunch of women up there, and I just went up there and I was like, "Who is he? Who? Hi!" Hell, I didn't know what I was doing. I was in Special Forces of Liberty down in Alabama. I was literally at headquarters down there. Big old, beautiful, huge area. You remember that, Ziggy? How big that place was? Big opened up place and everything. We just kicked back. It was badass. It was nice. So anyways, and then we had our words here and had our words there. Didn't mean to. Really got into it. The fact of the matter is now, it's like beating a dead horse, people. So we all decided to come together, and I think that's the best way to do it because it is for summer. It really is for summer. I encourage each and every one of you to help with the polygraph test. I mean, it's going to be something. It's something that is going to be open to the public for the first time. You'll actually have knowledge of it. Because if law enforcement does it, guess what? You're never going to have no knowledge. You'll never have knowledge of it. Now, what I've heard is Andy and Fred both have agreed. I'm going to put $300 on the table for Candace Wells. I'll also cover per diem. I'll cover your travel and whatever for you to take a polygraph test as well. And I also know Candace and Don both, and this is through the TBI. They use 4 polygraph examiners, and they also have a supervisor. So there's 5 total in the state of Tennessee that they use, that the TBI uses. I don't know what polygraph examiner that you guys use, whether private, whether it's paid by for, Tim Mullins or what the deal is. I know how much they cost. And to be honest with you, they used to cost more than what they do now. Back in the day, they were $750. Back in 2019, 2020, they was $700, $750.
He started the show
for
off.
Cher to be able to get these done at $500 each. I know my price is $450, but for her to get them done at $500 each, I'll be honest with you, it's a hell of a deal. And I don't care what anybody says. What anybody says about it, it's well worth it. It's very, very well worth it. Let's see some questions here. I'm 65 years old, and I've heard and more than you know. Okay, I understand that. You're 65 years old.
Amen.
You're 65 years old. Let me ask you a question real fast, Beverly. You're 65.
Cinnamon Girl said, they cannot do a thing without proper permission and clearances. Everything he and his, air quote, team are doing is interfering with the current and open, active law enforcement investigation.
Years old. How many kids go missing every 40, 45 seconds?
Cite your source. Please.
How many kids go missing? Do you know every 40 to 45 seconds a kid goes missing? Fact. Every time you count 30, 40 seconds, a kid goes missing in the U.S. Will you take one, Ernie? I saw people asking you in another chat. This is not about me. However, after everything's said and done and the October date comes around, because I said something's going to happen big in October, if it's still running, I don't think it's going to be running. I would be up to it after October. But Tennessee alert system sucks. Well, any amount is too much. Well, the fact of the matter is it does cost a lot of money. You know why they can only ask, you know what, do you guys know the reason why they only ask 3 to 5 questions? Do you guys know the reason for that?
Do you know where he got this information? I had to tell him because he was saying that when he took his lie detector test, they asked him all these questions. And I said, Ernie, you know how I know you're full of shit? I said, they only ask you 3 questions on the lie detector test. He didn't know that. But let's see his reason why.
It's because your adrenaline, your heart and everything get up. You can actually have a heart attack. Any more questions like that? People have actually had that happen.
Oh, he's so full of shit.
So look at this. Notice this. Notice this. Watch this. Watch this. Here's how you shut. Do not delete this person. Do not delete the question. Let's go here. Look at this. Notice the profile. Notice the profile, people. Notice the profile. I'm going to put it up here. Pay attention, people. This is part of learning. This is part of shutdown right here. Look at this. All the shells suck. Nobody. Now notice all the shells suck. What kind of profile name was this? Never seen this person before, right? You know it's fake, right? How do we know what this person is behind closed doors? You don't.
How do you know if you are?
So let's read. Let's read into their mindset. That's what we're going to do.
Okay.
Nobody uses Cash App to pay for traffic kids. They use Bitcoin and deep web portals. Couple hundred a day. A blonde, white, underage girl would sell for $1K for an hour or two. You sound fucking stupid. Where do you get your information? You see what I'm talking about? Who, what, when, where, how? Where do you get your information at? Tell me where you get your information at. Seems like you know a lot about it. That's how I'm not saying you are, but you're not, right? You know, without saying you are, is what you just did. See how stupid these people are? It's like saying there's 4 holes in here without saying any names and 4 women just stand up and start cackling. Think about it. It's easy. That's what I just did to him. Just play the reverse on him. They don't even understand what happened to answer this. They learn from the best, me. Then why does all shells suck? That just goes to show you how stupid you are. Again. See how easy it is? Brand new account just made today. Always is. 750,000 child predators online any given time during the day. Okay, so any questions? Any questions? I don't want to hold you all too long. I want to do this about an hour. Now, do you see where this stuff kind of goes into the Summer Wells case? How many people see this now? So I just showed you marks, identified marks. I showed you that. I showed you all that. Every single thing you need. I showed you that. If we was talking about internet and social media, we could talk about this right here. We could talk about the FBI, what they say, all the things about it. Did you know the pandas are even there? Yeah, pandas are even there. Why would the FBI talk about pandas if they're not there? Lisa Kay says they're not there. Other than the pandas, well, right here means a lot here. So let's look at this. Lollipops is one. Suckers, apples, boy, girl emojis, feminization,
Let's see that
infants.
paper you're reading.
Let's look at some more of this stuff. Where are my pandas at here? Federal Bureau of Disappearing Messages app, Snapchat, Kick, Quick, Federal Bureau of Investigation Affairs, what to do. Let's see here. Where's my pandas at?
Like we can only hope, Zigbert.
Federal Bureau of Investigation. Let's go over here. Oh, God. I want to get into this. This is something very, very fun. Let's go through here. It's talking about something else. Let's go over here with this stuff here. Panda is a symbol. Here's my rings right here. I was looking at in Tennessee and North Carolina. The ones that's been caught out Wing Deer Park. That was in Johnson City, Tennessee, back in. And then there's some things.
Yes, seriously, it is.
See, there's checks, PSAs. You know, sometimes you start talking about this stuff and you really get at it, and it really does.
Yeah,
it hits your nerves sometimes.
Now,
and you think about it, and
he was at 2 something.
You want to do more, but then you're like, you're stuck. You're like,
oh, like the 198.
The resources, stuff like that. Here we go. Devil faces flirtation or sexual intent context. If you go to the Limpsfield Grange School, you can find out all that about that too. And you guys probably don't even know what that is.
Show us that paper, Ernie.
They don't teach it. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security teaches that. That's where you would learn that. Pet names, pet uses, child collection. If you go to on a child rescue coalition, you can actually find out all about that too. Discovering the truth, hold that question right there. That's a very, very good one, and I'm going to tell you why. Pandas. Boom.
Does it take much, rumor?
There it is. Again, a lot of this stuff goes into talking about teddy bears, butterflies, pandas. Andrew, your pandas is on here, brother. Remember when I brought that out, and Andrew's like, I didn't know that. I remember that shit. And then Andrew's like, oh, Summer Wells case needs you. Go back to it. And then I find out when I look up Andrew's records and stuff, he's been having sex with pedophiles. Andrew Hills having sex with pedophiles. Then he admits it. How many people caught that? Right? Think about it. Let's go. Ernie, I want to ask you a serious question. Why do you think U.S. Marshals have stepped in on Summer's case? Because they do have a high success rate. U.S. Marshals is a recovery team. U.S. Marshals is also a recovery team, more or less, violent apprehension team, a fugitive task force. As far as rescuing kids, notice you'll never see the U.S. Marshals just rescuing one kid or something. When they put out their night watch programs, and when they put out the programs, when they go out, there's 40 or 50 agencies that assist with the U.S. Marshals, FBI, even ICAC. Let me get you on ICAC. ICAC is Internet Crimes Against Children. It's a training seminar. It's a training thing, but there's agents at ICAC. So whatever these people in YouTube have told you that they're wrong about it, they are. So do they naturally just step in? They do with phones and stuff like that, anything on the internet. Now the U.S. Marshals usually has to be asked, or they'll come in on their own or something with a higher ups, like a president or something like that would say, hey, I want you to. And Trump said that in 2016 when Trump had won presidency, he actually said, leave no rock unturned, leave no stone unturned. He sent the U.S. Marshals in, and you've seen the awfulest, craziest, 40 children here, 27 children here, Operation Autumn Files, Operation Leaves on the Ground. There was a ton of them. There was a ton of Operation Rescue. And you see all these kids being rescued. All these kids being rescued. There's one that was over in New Mexico. I don't think it was Operation Step Aside. No, it was I can't remember. I don't want to be. It's on that. Rap is an RSO. He was a YouTube creator. So here's the thing. Rap got caught up, and I don't really want to speak about Rap because he did get caught up. He got into a situation. He put himself in that situation, and whether or not you want to say he's controlling or not, manipulator. Now look where Rap's at. Rap's in a tent somewhere on the side of the road. His other woman has put him out, is what I've heard. Is actually the screenshot messages show that. That's not got nothing to do with it. Or what we're talking about, Summer Wells. But that just goes to show you how the turn of events is, how the gateways are. Now with child trafficking, to be honest with you, there's a lot of sickness in it. And when you're talking about the woman that said this is not the norm, child predators, I will in a second. Well, I'll get to that. Child predators, they get off on limits. Now, a lot of people don't tell you about this. Now, I'm going to tell you what limits. Limits is how far they can press, how far they can go with someone. They'll take a child, and they'll take that child, and they'll get that child high, and it don't take much. They'll get that euphoria, that dopamine into them, that kick going, and that it leaves that kid pretty much, or the date rape drug GHB, and they'll leave that child vulnerable. Now that drug lasts sometimes hours and hours and hours. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I said that. U.S. Marshals does rescues. That's what they mostly do. And what they'll do is they'll have people at the door. And those people, they'll have kiddie pools, okay? They're called kiddie pools. And those people are like in the hotels and stuff like that. And they'll have a thing called a bottom. Well, the bottom's the female that watches over the children. They watch over the children. Okay, guys. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, okay, so let's just say this. There's a lot of RSOs close to Ben Hill. And if you want to find out about that yourself, I want you to download the NSOPW. Go on your phones right now and type in NSOPW. And you're going to get a kick. You can put your address in. You can put a quarter of a mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, whatever. And you're going to see pedophiles all around you, okay? And you're going to see what they actually did. You're going to see what their sheet is. You're going to see what their level is. Tennessee has a thing called SOTN. I remember there was a pedophile here that took and put Summer Wells' picture up beside his own. And he called himself Summer of the Night. Do y'all remember that? Who remembers that? Well, Tennessee has a program. It's called, well, the abbreviation is SOTN. And it's a developmentation about levels of what pedophiles are when they get into the system. You see, there's levels. There's levels of it and how they're leveled. Whether how dangerous they are, whether, if it's a moderate case, there's that. It's called SOTN. Look it up. Look it up. Look it up. I'm going to tell you right now, look it up. I don't have nothing looking at it. I'll tell you right now. So, but he used Summer's name, and that kind of pissed me off.
Yeah, I would bet he's in Tennessee somewhere.
So, using these drugs and these kids, remember now, these kids are vulnerable. Doors cracked open. It ain't always open, because if it's always open, everybody can see. But people know that the doors are open. Do you remember I did the thing where I was doing a private investigating and I had to go and get the car? I had to get the tag of it. Do you remember what the tag said? How it had the demonic, what was it, the Antichrist it said on the tag? Y'all remember that, right? And then I showed you on my file, it showed the hotel that this car was at. We skip traced and was doing private investigating. And there was a pizza box, empty pizza box, nowhere else in that hallway, but right there at that hotel door. And remember how to log it down? I logged it down. Well, guess who I had to turn that into? I turned it into the Department of Homeland. See, so when people say all that and everything, so you know that there's signs and symbols, and they still exist, or it wouldn't be on the FBI website. Go look at the pedophilia signs on the FBI website.
No, thank you.
If you don't believe me, go look at it.
No,
People, you can say, "Oh, it's a conspiracy." Well, why is one of the leading federal agencies of FBI have it on their side? If it's such a big conspiracy, why is it on their side, people? I guess make that make sense, right? Thank you, Ziggy. I appreciate that. I'm gonna pin that right there. It really means a lot. But see, let me go ahead and answer Beloved Ghost question. Beloved, can you type it over again? I meant to do that, but I get carried away because I'm passionate about this, folks. I'm very passionate about it. I know it. I lived it. Okay, I lived it. Not all are so devil whispers. My dad was a preacher. Wow. Okay, so when you come to sex offenders, RSO, registered sex offenders, there's sex offenders and there's registered sex offenders. Registered sex offenders is the ones that's been caught and registered. Then you have just regular sex offenders that are out here. Did you know most pedophiles are never caught? So when you say, well, he can't be a pedophile, he's never been caught, he's never been charged. So you're telling me that he still can't be labeled as a pedophile. However, he is a pedophile. So think about it. Just because somebody's never been charged with it or convicted, because a lot of people, when they're labeling people as pedophiles or pedophilia and all this other shit, they look at it as if he's never been convicted of it, he's not a pedophile. So you're telling me that there's people out here trafficking children, having their way with them daily, every single day, making tons and tons of money off of it. But guess what? They're not a pedophile, right? So it's only, you get what I'm saying, right? You all understand that?
Projecting a lot. Yeah.
Let's see. Even the deception detective said that Summers' case is one that he thinks could have some type of a cult. It does have a cult in it. And I'm glad somebody even brought that up. It does. Trafficking involved. And he said he normally doesn't go there. There you go. Thank you, Ziggy. Let's go ahead and put that there. You see, this is before. Let me tell you this. And I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I'm going to tell you this. Notice, I've been saying this 4 years ago when it first happened, all this stuff. And now the detectives are saying, wait a minute. Let me tell you what TBI said. They said exactly what you said, is what they told me. My dad was an RSO because he was never charged even, there you go. It was all, it was okay. So you're exactly, see, discover the truth. I want y'all to pay attention to that. Did you know a lot of people are not? Let me tell you one of the biggest things. And I know I'm going off on a lot of things, but I want you to say something. Do you know how, let me tell you something.
There are.
Now I'm talking about older people back in the day, older men, older women, they love children, grandparents stuff love children. But do you know the reason the look is? You know what the difference between a glance and a look is? So you're out here and you have a child. Do you know the reason they automatically look at shoes for?
Oh.
If I look at your shoes, if I can look at your shoes, what have I just done? I just scanned your whole body without you even knowing it. If I have to look at your shoes, do I just look at your, okay, so if we're walking, all of a sudden, catch my eye, do I look at your shoes? No. You look at person down, boom. You just scan that whole person. Pedophile's dream is to set it apart. And what they'll do, they'll turn their vehicles. So they don't just pull in parking spots, okay? They back in. You know why they back in for? Because they show their headlights. They can use their headlights. They can use their beams for signals, okay? They can use their beams for signals, kind of like Morse code. But so what they'll do, they'll pull in. They'll take their seats, and they'll scoot them back, set them all the way down. Some of them, they got the button that goes down. It sets down, lays back, and they'll watch these children on the playgrounds. Some even has binoculars, or somebody just has a phone, cell phones, and they'll take the cell phones and they'll zoom it in, and they'll sit there, and guess what they'll do? When a child's going down a slide, when a child's in a certain position,
he's going to say it.
Blood in the water. Blood in the water, folks, like sharks. And they sit there, and you know what they do? They pleasure themselves.
Oh my God.
And here's the thing: it's harder. It's harder to rehabilitate a pedophile than it is a serial killer, and that's a fact. Now, let's look at this. Let's look at this right here. This is real big. This is real big here.
Yep.
I didn't want to go into this, but we need to. So, Ziggy, you're bringing up a lot. It does. Thank you, My Way 678. Thank you for coming in. I'm ready to plug. We're going. I mean, it goes into all kinds of conspiracies, guys. That's horrible. Discovering truth. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Yes, exactly. Summer was a crime of opportunity. Lexi Jenkins chat. Chase was tattooed. I know. Okay, so we're back here. I'm just making sure I don't miss anything. Okay, this is going to be heavy. Here's the police, law enforcement out there. So tell them what the hell's going on out there. So, in Summer's case, Candace, you remember when I caught Candace and she was, and the reason I asked this question because she was on panel.
I agree.
And we was talking and she was cammed up. And I said, Candace, I said,
just a second.
What do you think about Don admitting that he takes showers with Summer? And what did she say? Oh, he don't do that. I said, well, he admitted to it on my panel. He did what? Watch her face. If anybody has that clip, people, watch her face. That's all I'm going to tell you how to do. Watch her face. Watch her face, what she does. Watch her face. She goes from this to recall. She's stuck. She don't know what to say. Because that was one of the biggest moments I had there.
Oh, he's so infuriated.
Out of the blue like that. And that's what I wanted. I didn't mean to put her on the spot. I wanted her past the spot. Put her on the spot. I've done that many a times. I wanted to push her out of it. I wanted it to be hard. Just to say, hey, did you know this happened? Well, what are you going to do? If he did, I'll do. Right there, I caught him.
You did not.
Somebody better have bail money. We always remember that phrase, right? Bail money. So I put it on the spot, people. Do you remember when I asked Don what question I asked him that really got him? Well, what do you think happened there, Don? Well, because of the news and all the media and everything, somebody they. And then the other night, Candace goes live. And notice when Candace goes live, she's always separated herself and she's in the ground somewhere. You know why she's at the ground for? There's signs and symbols of that as well. She's mourning.
Oh my God.
She's off to her side. The thing she's closest to is some of you all, the people she knows that she can't trust. And that she's disassociated with anymore. It's a fact. And I'm not being mean or nothing, but that's what it is. So there's a lot of questions that I know it shares is going to be asked. And I do want you all to write your questions down. Anything you have, I will do my best to answer it unless it involves law enforcement and what I'm doing now. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so if anything else, let me read this right here. It's very important. I was molested years ago. He didn't do the full 10 years, though he was in a medical prison. Wow. My Way 678, very, very sorry for that. Very sorry that you had to endure that. Discovering the truth, you've had a lot of good questions today. I do appreciate that. Thank you. I have 2 burn marks on my leg. I know something's myself. Okay, so yes, you did. Ziggy Discovering supports a lot of trashy creators. I've watched that one. There you go. Oh yeah, I remember this. I say already going through there. Any other questions, guys? I didn't want to hold you long. Ziggy's wanting to go live. Ziggy's got some good stuff. I tell you, Ziggy's going to go live. She's got some good stuff. If you do want to subscribe, I appreciate you subscribe. I do have a few things in the wraps, and Ziggy has something important for me, and I'm gonna be honest with you, Ziggy. If you do, I've got a different Facebook. I need to figure out how we can work this out. If you can hit me up with specialforcesact@gmail.com. Oh my God, Ziggy. Well, I'll tell you where she was at the other night, or a couple weeks ago. I'll tell you that. She was at my friend's camping site. That's all I'm going to say. So that is wrong, Ziggy. And let me ask you a question. No. In the beginning of Cher's chat and live, you said that you have something for me in a couple of days, and you said I may or may not know. What was you referring to? Because I have an idea, and I didn't want to bring it out right off the bat. I do have an idea what you're talking about. And by the way, you're a very, very bad girl. You're very, very bad for that. Trying to catch me like that. I see what you're trying to do. Did you notice how I spin it around, though? I had to just spin that, what you're talking about right now. See, she spinned it right back around on me. So I believe, okay, so Candace in my live. Look, let's just do this. Candace, you're watching. Say hello to everybody. You're a mod. Say hello to everybody. Just say hello. Just come in and say, hey, everybody. Call me a fucking idiot or something like that. I just make sure you're still, you. Make sure you ain't no clone running out there or some shit like that. Candace, you're in the chat. Just go ahead and say hello. I'd sent you the link earlier anyways in Messenger. Just tell me hello. Hey, shut up, Ziggy. You're bad off. She's going to come in and she's probably going to whip my ass and your ass and probably everybody halfway's out here. She's got a wrench, so she's probably going to come in and start swinging. But the thing about it is, I'm going to tell you right now, my opinion about everything. Candace is
Candace, I think, ma'am.
I think she's pushed. I think she's been that way for years, okay? She's controlled, guys. She's controlled, and that's all they are to it. Roku remote. What city are you in? I'm almost in Chicago right now. So where are you located at? I travel around the world. Where are you located? Roku remote. You want to show me your legs? Oh, the mall. Okay. I'll start saying that's like the ones on my messenger. The women always showing me stuff. But yeah, go ahead. I really don't meet up with people, but anyway, Z, you got me kind of tongue tied. I don't even know what I want to say now. It's kind of bad. So, anyways, guys, I do appreciate you all. If anything, you're Southwest Virginia, I'm way off from there. Now I may be going toward Memphis when the military goes in to clear stuff out. Or if they do, I just like to get documentation. You are friends with them now. Now you're defending Andrew and all that. It's okay. You do too. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not defending Andrew. Andrew's mad at me right now, and I have no idea. I don't even understand. He's the one that said you need to come back in. Summer needs you, and that was months and months and months ago. And I decided, hey, I'm going to go ahead. And in the first couple of days I've been in, I've already showed you the marks. I've already showed this. These pictures have been circulating forever. They're circulating forever. Now, of course, people say, well, what about these? And they go all crazy, and they don't understand because they let their emotions take over. When you let your emotions take over, you forget what common sense even is.
True.
And that's a fact. Going live. Ziggy, are you going live? I'm part of a no crew, although I do mod for Andrew, but only because he knows I'm fair. Let's stop right here. Let me ask you a question, Discovering Truth. You mod for Andrew. When I said that I talked to Allie before she died, Andrew went live right directly after I said that. Right directly after I said that. Now, just because I didn't put it on nothing,
I think he's intended.
Doesn't make sense. See, that's the thing. It's the element of surprise. So you want to stay basic, and you want to stay basic in everything. Everything you do, you always want to stay basic. Um, so no, Delicious. No. So no. So my role. Let me give you an example. My role in executive protection, I was a lead agent. Okay. So
Can you show us proof of that?
right. Okay. I'll say. Okay. So what a lead agent does is my role was in the front. I was the principal. I was the principal.
Yep.
I was also a
Oh,
driver
sure
as
is.
well. So let me give you an example of smartness about security. Okay. So when we have these things, and this is going back into the Charlie Kirk stuff, and I don't mean to mix it in, but I'm just telling you a little bit as ideas about how much
Hey,
in
Matt.
depth that you have to be. So if I'm in depth on this, when it comes to child predators and stuff like that, you'll know that I know exactly the laws, the way it works, the TCA codes, why you can work in this state, why you can't work in that state, because it all fluctuates. And the fact of the matter is, less than 11 to 15% of law enforcement know anything about child trafficking.
Source, please.
They do. It's a fact. They have what's called the BCAC. Do anybody know what the BCAC is? Now that's different from ICAC. It's from the FBI. It's from the FBI. It's called a Violent Crimes Against Children. Okay, that's an agency.
I
BCAC.
think you should know from way back.
So a lot of this training and a lot of this stuff that comes, these signs and symbols. How do you think they know this stuff? How do you think they know how to do this? Okay, how do you think they know this? No, I am not a wanted fugitive. So how do you think they know all this?
We'd like to know. Training.
How do they know all this?
Training.
Because they come from people that experienced it. They train these agents up. People who's been in it for years, who's been in the human trafficking world for years. They train agents up.
So you've been in the human trafficking world?
So, any more questions, guys, before we get out of here?
So he's been.
Has anyone learned anything tonight? Have you learned anything? That's the big.
Is that any different than Don saying he's seen children being sold in motels? For Ernie to say that he's been in the human trafficking world? I don't think so.
Biggest thing. Have you learned anything?
Yeah, you're an idiot. You're a pervert.
There's so much more.
You're fucking sick.
Anybody learn anything? Z, Lynn, did you afraid of anything with a mouth? Okay, so anything at all? Any more questions? Anything? I'm turning it over to Ziggy. She can have it. Ziggy, if you're live, you can have these people. Informants. They're called something else. Okay. So when you go to these places, they're called kiddie pools. And there's bottoms, and there's eagles, and hawks. It's just different languages. Here's your good one. Why did you throw a dildo in the yard? No one ever did that. I don't know. I never heard of signs and signals till YouTube. Fact. They don't want you to know signs and signals. They don't want you to know that. If you knew that, then their game plan's flushed. It's ruined. You guys got it. You guys have fun. Much respect. God bless you all. Thank you all for fighting a good fight. If you subscribe to me, I appreciate it. If you want to donate, not on this live here, go to another live or one later on, and 2 or 3 days ago or whatever, you can get the cash app. You can donate it. Whenever I'm talking about children and child trafficking or involved summer or anything, I made an example in the first of it I showed you all. I don't put my stuff up there. There's a reason why. And unless I'm working in the field, if I'm contracted to do something, that's the only time I'll do that. That's the only time I want to get paid. That's a fact. Much respect. God bless you all. Thank you all for fighting a good fight. And as always, we the people will protect the children at all costs. Have fun, guys. Be safe.
Oh, you sick fuck. Thank God that's over. Ugh. Ugh. Oh, I forgot. I forgot in the last 3 videos too. I put monetization on, and I put it on aggressive. Anybody's been watching this? Are the commercials unbearable? Is it like, have you seen this like too much? BGE, I'm not sure if he did or not. I was over watching you at Kells, and then I fell asleep. So I don't know. I didn't get it record. I didn't record it. I woke up like almost as you guys were done. Fizz is an unbearable because I don't know what I didn't know what the commercials were like on Aggressive. It was like every minute. It's rough. Okay, I won't do it no more. I have premium, so I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the last part I watched on his. Huh. I don't know. Sure, I see that too. It stresses me out. Makes my stomach sick. You got a video on the pop up that covers the chat? Huh. Crybaby said it's while he's laying in bed. BGE. It's getting ready to storm here. Y'all hit share up with some questions of Ernie's. You seen him out. Someone asked for his credentials, and he said his bullshit answer. That's not credentials. Sure won't ask him the tough questions anyway. Oh, Ghost! If you'd have told me he was on Rumble, I would have went over there. Have Peach text me when you're going on Rumble, because the only reason I stayed up to do this is so we make sure we got it. But if you got it, good, yeah. Your phone lags every time there's a commercial. Well, thank you, Angie girl. Oh, I need to learn how to do the Rumble record because I can just hit the live and walk away. But I knew this would be one of them sick ones, you know. Behind Green Eyes was looking for the lot. She's got the video recorded, but she wants to know when Ernie hit himself. I guess when he was laying in bed, he did it. Well, if that's it, I think that I'm going to go to bed. Thank y'all for being here. He punches himself in the face while laying in bed. How did he frame it? What was his reasoning? Did one of his pillows make a pass at the steering wheel? Yep. He said dildo in the yardo. I seen you had 3 songs of dildo in the yardo, Mr. Nobody. And I seen all your fat girl songs. Might I say I love them? Okay. Let me click that off. Okay, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm sleepy. It's getting ready to storm. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Moz. Have you found the 4 and the 5 yet? In Ernie's? Oh, no, not on Summers, but we found them on Ernie's. We found a lot of stuff on Ernie's. The ocean. Sarah found a vulture. Yep. Okay, guys. Talk to y'all later. Good night.